it's a film where we didn't kind of set up anything. Everything is fine. It was found on location. And I like that way. Some people have a super big teams and they make everything in a studio. I use very small teams and we travel a lot.
Where did you shoot the film?
Yeah, I shot in different places. Basically, the two main places were Ethiopia again and here in Estonia. And then I shoot also in the desert of Spain in Almeria, where Sergio Leone was shooting all his films with Clint Eastwood.
Oh wow, nice.
Actually, all the films that are scored by Ennio Morricone that passed over. And the desert is incredible. It's so beautiful. And then in Latvia, we saw the part where there is a very big bunker from the Soviet times, one of the biggest bunkers. And we went there and we asked if we could shoot there. Oh yeah, you come and shoot. And this is okay. So,
nice, that made it easy.
Nice. So it's a film where we didn't kind of set up anything. Everything is fine. It was found on location. And I like that way. Some people have a super big teams and they make everything in a studio. I use very small teams and we travel a lot. So we maybe with 3, 4, 10 people we go to the most strange, because they still have the spirit, right? The spirit is there. So yeah, 4 countries with this time. It was great.
Wow. Like I said, you do incredible work. I mean, it's really beautiful to see an independent director like yourself being able to get as much done, that once someone actually supports you and gets behind you and greenlights a project, I can't imagine what you can do with the budget, with someone, supporting you. That's amazing to see what you can do.
But when you go to the Nile Falls, we went to the Blue Nile Falls in Ethiopia, and you have these incredible waterfalls, and then you stage a kung fu fight there.
Yes.
You don't need actually very much budget. The place is so incredible that.
Right. Well, I mean, just in terms of obviously a larger budget will be you have to maybe fly people there, and you have to, just the expenses, the costs of getting there, things like that, obviously. But aside from Daniel, tell me about some of the other actors. Actually, I didn't get their names, but I did recognize 2 of the older gentlemen who had the military suits on or whatever. I remembered them from Crumbs. So aside from those 3, were there anyone else?
We have Solomon Tasche, that is the guy who is playing Batfro, the Batman Afro.
Yeah.
Batfro. And he's great. He's great. He's the Bud Spencer of Ethiopia. So everybody knows him. So you go to the end of the world, you go to the farthest place in Ethiopia with your van, and everybody starts hey, Solomon. And everybody wants to have a coffee with him. And really? It's super great because stardom in Ethiopia, it doesn't mean money or, Solomon is a very humble person. He doesn't have many money, but he's ultra famous.
He sounds like he was already a celebrity in his own hometown.
He's totally a celebrity in that, but Ethiopia has more than 100 million people and he's known everywhere. So I said, Solomon, why are you not kind of living in a big mansion, No, I mean, we don't make money, but doesn't matter so much, but he's a man of the people, right? In every neighborhood, they know him. So he's very beloved. And it's great because you can see that, this, how can I say, the feeling of community, that this guy performs in our films and he's part of us.
Right.
And then some others were kind of spontaneous, where we have Lauri Lakle, which is a very known actor in Estonia that performs Captain Alphonse Rebain and Rebane. And Gerda Netalikas is the wife of Gagano, and she makes physical acting. Basically, she makes these physical performances, but she never performed in a film before.
Oh, this was her first film.
Yeah, and she's great. Like same as Gagano, she's very. I tried to get the person out of her more than the character out of her, right? And so trying to be, I told her, try to be yourself, like, and she never did a film before, but she knows how to perform physically and everything. So that was great. And a lot of spontaneous kind of actors. The kung fu guys, we met them in Ethiopia, asking like who can. And they were awesome and incredible. Actually, one of them is the second of the world in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu.
Oh, so, wow.
Yeah. So we believe that we're going to find somebody average, but we found world champions.
Wow, that's pretty interesting and really, really cool, though.
Yeah.
Wow,
and they were so collaborative, so nice persons that even when they finished their scenes, they were helping us with the technical equipment, and we said like, okay, performance is over, you can go back to Addis Ababa, and say like, no, we want to stay here with you because we are having so much fun. So, I cannot pay you more days, I don't have budget. Don't worry, Miguel, like we stay here.
Nice.
So I think they spend their salary in helping us finishing the film. I mean, crazy.
That is beautiful. But you know what that means? That means a lot, though, because when you have people like that who are just there for the fun of it, you just had genuine people who were willing to help and jump in. That's really beautiful. It's rare to find.
It's incredible. I promised them that we are gonna do a trip to Somaliland. One of these summers. I didn't have time. I hope next year I can do that. So imagine, doing the trip with them. You are super well protected, right? There are 4 kung fu guys. They are the best in the world.
You won't have to worry, but you got your built-in bodyguards and everything.
Yeah, they say like, let's go to Somaliland. They say like, but Jared, maybe it's a little bit dangerous. Don't worry, man. I mean, like, no, I don't worry at all. They are like incredible, incredible fighters.
Wow. Wow. Was there any difference with your experience shooting Jesus Shows You the Way to the Highway versus Crumbs in that, you can compare, any kind of experience differences or any challenges you might have even run into between the two?
Well, Jesus was shot in different moments during the 2 years or even more. And so we took like, we were shooting 10 days and another 5. So it was a more reflective film. And Crumbs was shot all in a trip. So in Crumbs, we really have the feeling of a trip, not only the trip of the film, and we drove all around Ethiopia, and it was very enlightened experience and more like an adventure. And I think Jesus was, instead of like a physical adventure, it was more like the time was so long that allowed me to reflect a lot on techniques on film. Also, we also shot using different techniques, stop motion, real cinema, 16 millimeters film, and digital. So I would say that I got maybe, as a filmmaker, more mature with Jesus. And as a person, maybe more mature with Crumbs.
That's interesting. So it sounds like you had, like you said, just more of a personal reflection, or just being there just allowed you to have that kind of stillness.
And I was living there for a long time in Ethiopia. So the shooting of Crumbs was kind of a finishing point and a final achievement of all my years in Ethiopia, because we were collecting so many places. This landscape, the other landscape. One day we will come and shoot a film here and there for so many years, and finally we did it. So it was kind of my fire. a little bit sad, but my farewell to Ethiopia, because I had
Mm-hmm.
to leave and live in another country. So it was
Mm-hmm.
my, and with Jesus, I came back to Ethiopia, but this time more like as a visitor, more
Right.
than as a as a person that lives there.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
yeah, I miss it. I miss it.
Oh, I bet you do. I mean, it's a beautiful, it looks like a very, very beautiful place. It makes me definitely want to go there. So I can't wait for this pandemic to be over so we can travel again. Ah,